Welcome to Bhakti Steps. There are prayers on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Ajnanatinandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sopanamatikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam. साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण प्रधान सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत तप्त कांचन गौरंग राधे वृंदावन विश्वभानु श्रीदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु भैरवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So welcome to Bhakti Steps. We'll be starting with the 8th chapter, and possibly this will be our last session because you have exam on 24th. So maybe we can end today. And okay, reaching life's perfection. The human form of life is meant for God realization. Srila Prabhupada gives an address at London's Convent Hall in 1969. If one thinks like that, I am no one else's servant, my business is to serve God, then he's liberated. His heart is immediately cleansed and he is liberated. After one has reached that, then all one's cares and anxiety in this world are over. Because one knows, I am servant of God, God will give me protection. Why should I worry about anything? So this is a very high understanding, and this understanding that I am no one else's servant, but I am only Krishna's servant, and Krishna will give me protection. Krishna will give me protection. This understanding is a pure devotee's understanding, and this was exhibited by Prahlad Maharaj, and that's why he was fearless. And even when his father tried to kill him in so many occasions, and then finally tried to, you know, uh, challenge him, where is your Krishna? Then is he in this pillar? And then Narsinga Bhavan came to prove the words of Prahlad, when Prahlad said that yes, he is in the pillar also. So we have, at our stage, we have to aspire for this. At our stage, we have to aspire for this higher stage. And theoretically, we should at least understand this. Theoretically. And practically, as we do Bhakti Yoga, slowly our heart will get cleansed, our faith will increase. There is a particular verse, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya. Let's see if I can find it. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya. Okay, Bhajana. Let's see if I can find this one. Bhajana Kriya. Yeah, this one. Where is this? According to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, this is in purport 10. Field of attachment of and all transcendental love to me. This chapter, I guess, 4.10. आदौ श्रद्धा तथा साधु संग तथा भजन क्रिया ततो अनर्थ निवृत्ति तथा निष्ठा रुचि तथा आसक्ति तथा भाव तथा प्रेम अभ्युदानचति साधकानां अयं प्रेमण प्रादुर्भवे भवेत् क्रम meaning in sequence. So such thing happens in sequence when we go through Bhakti Yoga. So what it is? First is we develop Shraddha. Ado Shraddha. Shraddha, you can say trust. Okay? To trust something which is sublime. First that happens in the association of devotees. And again, in further association with devotees, we start doing bhajana kriya. Sadhu Sangha is association of devotees. Bhajana kriya means doing activities of bhajana or bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, like that, those 9 processes. When we do that, simultaneously anartha's nivritti takes place. Nivritti means to remove. Anartha are all the bad things in our heart, especially lust, greed, anger. They start reducing. Then our faith increases to nishtha. Then it becomes ruchi. Then asakti, it's a great attachment. And then we get some feeling which is spiritual feeling, which is bhava. Then that spiritual feeling turns into pure love, that is called prema. So this is the process. In the beginning, one must have preliminary desire for self-realization. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated. In next stage, one becomes initiated by elevated spiritual master. Under his instruction, the neophyte devotee begins the process of devotion service. By execution of devotion service, which is bhajana kriya, under the guidance of spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment, attains steadfastness in self-realization. Steadfastness is nishtha. One doesn't break here. He becomes very, very steadfast, and acquires a taste for hearing about the Supreme Personality. Taste, ruchi. There are so many things we want to hear, right? WhatsApp and social media and all that. But a devotee who has become steadfast will only want to hear about Sri Krishna. This taste then becomes he attached to Krishna. Becomes very attached to Krishna. And only Krishna he wants. Then he starts getting some matured in bhava. Or this is the preliminary stage of transcendental love. And in simple words, it's a feeling, it's a very spiritual feeling for Krishna, where one wants to serve Krishna. And in the real love for God called prema, this is the highest perfection stage. In prema, what happens is there is a constant engagement in service, loving service to the Lord, which is transcendental nature. So, just to give you a background on this. Okay. So, can someone volunteer to read 2-3 paragraphs? And then we can rotate. Can someone read today?
I'll read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead. Today's subject.
Today's subject is our relationship with God, that is self realization. The Sankirtana movement is the easiest process for self realization because it cleanses the heart. Our misunderstanding of our identity is due to the dust covering the mirror of the mind. In a mirror that is covered with dust, one cannot see himself. But if it is very clear, then one can see himself. So, meditation is a process for cleansing the heart. Meditation means to try to understand one's relationship with the Supreme.
What kind of meditation are we doing?
Chanting?
Mantra meditation.
Yeah.
So it's a meditation over a sound which is spiritual in nature. Mantra is spiritual words, spiritual vibration, spiritual sound. On that we are meditating. On that we are meditating, because many people have different meaning of meditation, and our meditation is
Mantra.
to meditate, on mantra, and that also we do three types: japa, and then vachaka, and manasa. Japa is where we softly chant and only we can hear. Then in Sankirtan, we loudly chant and everyone else can hear. And third is Manasa, where we chant in our mind. Okay? We don't say through our mouth, but we chant in our mind. And that is very intense. Okay? So our meditation goes through like this. So a pure devotee, he will do all three types. At our stage, we will do japa and loud sankirtan. But when it comes to mind meditation, meditation on the mantra in the mind, right, we will struggle, because we are not at that stage. No, we are at neophyte stage, so we will struggle.
With everything with which we come in contact, there is a relationship. Because I'm now sitting on this cushion, the relationship is that I shall sit and the cushion will hold me. You have relationships. You are Englishman or Indian, so there is a relationship with your society, with your family, with your friends. So, what is our relationship with God? If you ask everyone, very few people will be able to explain their relationship with God. They say, what is God? God is dead. I don't believe in God. What to speak of a relationship? Because these dirty things are covering their hearts, they cannot see. We have a relationship with everything. Why do we not try to understand our relationship with God? Is that very intelligent? No. That is ignorance. All the creatures in this material world are covered by the three modes of material nature. Therefore, they cannot see God. They cannot understand God, nor do they try to understand Him. But God is there. In England, in the morning, there is mist, so you cannot see the sun behind the fog. But does this mean there is no sun? You cannot see it because your eyes are covered. But if you send a telegram to another part of the world, they will say, yes, the sun is here. We can see it. It is very dazzling, full of light. So when you deny the existence of God, or you cannot ascertain your relationship with God, that means that you are lacking in knowledge. It is not that there is no God. We are lacking. The sun is not covered. The sun cannot be covered. The fog or the cloud or the mist does not have the power to cover the sun. How big the sun is? It is so many times bigger than this earth. And the clouds can cover at most 10 or 20 or 100 miles. So, how can the clouds cover the sun? No, the clouds cannot cover the sun. They cover your eyes. When an enemy comes and a rabbit cannot defend himself, the rabbit closes his eyes and thinks, my enemy is now gone. Similarly, we are covered by the external energy of God and the thinking, God is dead.
Wait. So can we see God ultimately? Can we see God? Yesterday also I told I will show you something. Can we see God?
अच्छा उसमें टाइमिंग गलत बता रहा जो लाइट है वही ज्वाइन करना है कौन सा लाइट इतना क्या
What is your
अभी काउंटेड भूल मेरा
thought process? Can we see God?
Yes, we can.
How?
If our devotion is the highest order, we are pure devotees, and the God will manifest when He thinks it is appropriate to manifest in the front of the person. There are many examples that we have read, so it is possible. Is my understanding.
It may be possible, but there is some qualification, right? That
Yeah, qualification that is required. Yes.
so in general, no one can see God,
Yeah.
right? In general, no one can see God, and Krishna also says this. Krishna also says this. We will go over that. Let's say use the word necklace or use the word thread. Use the word thread. I think this is okay. This is seventh chapter. 7.7. Okay. 7.7. Oh, pearls. Use the word pearls. Okay. मतः परतरणात् अन्यात् किंचित अस्ति धनंजया मयि सर्वं इदं प्रोतं सूत्रे मणिगण एव. So these are necklace of pearls, right? What is the one thing that you don't see in this necklace of pearl?
The thread connecting them.
Yeah, the thread that connects them. You don't see. Krishna makes the same point. O conqueror of hell, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. And the thread is not seen. So Krishna is like hidden. Just like the thread is not seen, Krishna is like hidden. So how can we see him? In Brahma Samhita, Krishna's Brahmaji says how to see Krishna. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana. Prema Anjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana. Prema Anjana. When the eyes are tinged with the salve of love, then only the pure devotees can see in the hearts of the hearts Govinda. So when a devotee has his when a devotee has pure love for Krishna, then only he can see Krishna.
Yeah.
Just hold on. I'm meeting. So Krishna, as first he says, I cannot be seen. Just like thread of a necklace cannot be seen. He cannot be seen. I hold everything and all that. He keeps saying so many things, but he cannot be seen. Okay. So now those who don't have devotion, then how to see Krishna? That is the question, right? We don't have devotion. We are practicing devotees. And I showed you that there is a big list to be done. Ado Shraddha to Prema. So this is Prema. Papa? I mean, watch video. They watch video. What I was saying, yeah. So we are in between, or we are at a very lower stage. Then how to see? So for us, Krishna gave a big chapter only, which is the chapter in Bhagavad Gita that he gave for us, how to see him everywhere. How to see him everywhere? Which chapter? Can you guess? There are 18 chapters. Which chapter do you think Krishna gave it? Huh? Which chapter do you think he gave it? He gave us
10th chapter, Babuji.
Yeah, 10th chapter. He gave us 10th chapter to see, to perceive him, to see him, where he is, how he is, and from there, when we do Bhakti Yoga, with that, then we will slowly advance to ultimately see Krishna everywhere. So Krishna says, see me like this. Of all the Devatas, I am Indra. Of all the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Marutas, I am Marich. Sages, I am Vyasa. Creators, I am Brahma. Mountains, I am Meru. Water bodies, I am ocean. Trees, I am the banyan tree or the peepal tree. Purifiers, I am the wind. Flowing rivers, I am the Ganga. anything, yeah, in the ability in the man, that is very important. There is, let's see, ability in the man, of the subduers and the time, of the cheaters, of the cheaters I am the gambler, like that. Of the weapons I am the thunderbolt. I am all devouring death. Yes. There is one very nice thing he says: the ability in the man. I am the ability. I am the strength of the strong. Generally, women, they have very nice speech, intelligence, steadfastness, patience. They have these qualities. Krishna says, I am all of that. Of victory and morality. There are many victories that happen. Sometimes terrorist wins, but where a moral king wins, that is Krishna.
Mm.
Of the wise, I am the wisdom. Uh, so anything sublime that we see in this world, we should see Krishna in that. Anything powerful that we see in this world, we should know Krishna is over there. Right? There's some background noise. You can mute yourself. Hmm. So this is the chapter that we need to study. Hmm. So this chapter says how to see Krishna in everything. Just a minute. Um, okay.
Prabhu, can you share that particular link or page?
For what?
Can you share the Lord Krishna's unlimited opulence?
This one?
Is it the one you were sharing, Prabhu? Can you share that? The Lord Krishna's unlimited opulence.
Unlimited. Okay.
That's the subject line, na, Prabhu?
That's what I was typing. Chapter 10 is to see Krishna in everything. Okay. Chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita is to see Krishna in everything. Which chapter tells to see everything in Krishna? Which chapter? Can you guess? Everything is inside Krishna. Everything is inside Krishna. Which chapter tells? Where Krishna shows everything is inside him. Which chapter study shows?
Chapter 9, Prabhu.
No. Chapter 9 is Guhyatam knowledge, na? Secret knowledge. Chapter 10 is to see everything in Krishna. Where he shows everything is inside him. Arjuna is saying everything is inside you, Krishna. Which is the next chapter of 10?
11.
11 is what? What is it called?
Mm.
What happens in 11? Krishna shows Virat Rupa.
Yeah.
Seeing everything in Krishna is the Virat Rupa. So these two chapters is meant for us. And then chapter 12 is Bhakti Yoga. Okay?
Yeah.
So when we do Bhakti Yoga, we should have this chapter as our foundations. 10 and 11. Of course, 9 also. But this is what? Because we cannot see Krishna. Right? Our devotion is not pure. According to Brahmaji, we should have devotion in our eyes. Yeah, right now we don't even have devotion. So Krishna makes it easy. Okay, follow chapter 10. See me in everything. And see everything in Krishna. Have the Virat Rupa. Then Krishna says, okay, with this knowledge, do bhakti yoga. Hmm? Wherever we see, we will attack connected to Krishna. We will see everything is inside Krishna. And that's how when we do 9 processes of bhakti, then slowly all the anartha, nivritti, everything will happen. And then ultimately prema will come. Once prema comes, then we can see Krishna everywhere. Okay. There's a difference in seeing Krishna in everything and seeing Krishna everywhere. That vision is only for a pure devotee. For us, we will see Krishna in everything through analytical eyes. This one, this table. We will see him through this table. But this is not out of love. No? This is out of information.
Yeah.
When it becomes out of love, when the pure devotion happens, like that happens, then we see Krishna everywhere. Then that is Prahlad Maharaj stage. Then all the pure devotees, they have this vision. Okay, coming back to our point. So now we went from can we see Krishna? We cannot see Krishna. Okay.
Okay.
Prabhupada is saying it is covered, just like the sun is covered by the fog or by the sky. We are covered by the material Maya. And how to remove it? Devotional service. Okay. But it still requires some pure devotee, pure devotion. Till that point, 10 and 11 chapter will help us.
Okay.
So, those who say, oh, I cannot see Krishna and all that, they think God is dead. They come to the other extreme of the spectrum. Like, we have this story now. Once fox, he tries to eat the grapes, and when he doesn't get the grapes, what he says? The grapes are sour. Right? He doesn't taste the grapes, but he ends up saying, goes to the extreme and says, I didn't get it, but no problem. Actually, the grapes are sour only. So, what's the point in that effort? So that's the other extreme of this. Okay, next.
The Lord has 3 kinds of energies. In the Vishnu Purana, there are descriptions of the energy of the Supreme Lord. And in the Vedas also, in the Upanishads, there are descriptions of the energies of the Supreme Lord. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate. Swetash Svetashvatara Upanishad 6.8. Shakti means energy. The Lord has multi energies. The Vedas say God has nothing to do. We have to work because we have no other means to exist. We have to eat, we wish to enjoy this, that. But why should God work? God does not have to work. Then how can we say that God created this universe? Is that not work? No. Then how did it happen? His multifarious energies are so strong that they are acting naturally and are full of
Just hold on.
knowledge.
Just hold on. Where does Krishna says, I don't have to work? I have no work to do, but still I do work. Where does Krishna says? Probably in the 3rd or the 4th chapter. He says that. I have no work to do, but I do it. Because if I don't do it, then the common general public, will be bewildered. Oh, son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me. This is 22. I guess 4.22 or 3.22. 4.22, maybe 3.22. Yeah. Name parthasya kartavyam. There is no work prescribed for me, nor I want anything, nor I have anything to obtain. Yet I am engaged. Why, Baba, are you engaged? Why are you engaged? Because if I fail, then all men will fail because they are looking at me. I am the leader, na? So I have to set the example. I have to set the example. We will just look at the context. Uh, the context is like Krishna is talking about the perfect karma yogi, that is Janak Maharaj takes. He says when they're perfect, when they have achieved perfection, they have nothing to do. When they have achieved perfection, they have nothing to do. Then why they still do? Because they are educating the people in general. Okay, because they are educating. And then he says, great leaders, what they do, common people follow. And he says, I also don't have work, but I do engage in prescribed duties. Why? Because all men follow my path. If I do not do my duties, then all the world will be put into ruination. I'll be the cause of creation, unwanted population, and I will destroy the peace of all living beings. So, a learned person, he will act for what? For leading people on this right path. Okay, he won't give
Yeah.
up his duty. So that's what Arjuna had the question. I want to give up fighting.
Mm.
I want to become a learned person. And Krishna is saying, wait, learned? Well, there was Janak Maharaj who was much more learned. And he was setting examples so that follow. Then he puts his own example. And he says, look at me also. I am also perfected being. Okay. I do work because all men look at me. Therefore, the learned people, why do they do? Because they want to set the example. They want to set the example for people to follow on the right path. But how they do? They do it without attachment. So, so without attachment, Arjuna, you do your work. Know that you're not the doer. You're not the only doer. Okay, that is the point. You're not the only doer. You must have read chapter 18, where Krishna says five things are there. Na? There are
Yeah.
five causes are there.
Yeah.
What are the five causes? The body. The body has to be
Body,
strong.
soul,
The
senses,
soul.
endeavor,
The
and
senses have
super
to be
soul.
strong, right? Then you have to put efforts also. Everything is good, but you're not putting effort. Then how will you get? Then ultimately what? Ultimately, result still you don't get. Why? Because there is super soul. He decides. So you're not the only doer. Okay, understand these are all of these are there. Okay, you're just one of them. Understand that.
Yeah.
Think that you're not the only doer. Consider the other five factors or other four factors, and then see things as they are. Don't be motivated by a false ego, thinking that you are the only doer. No. Don't think like that. When he knows that all these things, five factors are there, and then he does his duty, even if he's killing, he doesn't kill. He's not bound by his action. So this is the definition of a learned person. A learned person, he knows what is happening behind the scene. Five things are happening. Five things are influencing. Out of which the super soul is the one. Okay.
So normally, the four people think they do, right? Body,
Not normally. Everything it is done by five.
no, no, everything. No. I'm telling general public. They think all the other four is anyway involved. The body is already there. The
Mm-hmm.
doer is we think ourselves doing. Our senses are involved in it, and some effort goes in us doing the activity. What people miss is the super soul part of it.
Yeah. And the thing is, the super soul thing is not very easy to understand also, because it is always in suspense. No,
Mm.
it is only after I put the effort and I didn't get it, and then by hindsight, then I say, okay, it is providence. You know, Bhagwan
Yeah.
Kareem Mansur, like the kind of people they end up saying, which is also true. So the super soul is in all in all the circumstances, the super soul acts very neutrally. Okay, he looks at our qualification, our karma, our credits, etc., and then he gives the result. Okay, in almost all cases that happens. Now, because we don't know what we have done in our previous lives, we cannot really predict the super soul. Okay, We cannot really predict the super soul. So then what is there in our hand? In our hand only endeavor is there. So therefore the Shastra says you focus on the endeavor part. Okay, you focus on the endeavor part, you focus on the purushartha, and don't so much worry of the result. Don't so much worry of the result. Just make sure your endeavors are within dharma. Okay, they are not adharmic, they are not vikarma. Just make sure that. Okay, and ultimately that endeavor you should give it to as a service to Krishna. As a, you should offer that fruit to Krishna, you should offer it as a service to Krishna, you should do it on behalf of Krishna, like that. Then your karma yogi become bhakti yoga and all that. Then you're not bound by the actions.
Yeah.
So God does not have work. Krishna himself said, I don't have work. All his multifarious energies are doing it.
Yeah. So these multifarious energies are so strong that they are acting naturally and are full of knowledge. We can see how a flower blooms and grows and systematically displays multicolors. One side a little spot, another side a little spot, white on one side, more white on the other side. The butterfly also exhibits such artistic symmetry. So this is all being painted, but in such a perfect way and so swiftly that we cannot see how. We cannot understand how it is being done, but it is being done by the energy of the Lord. It is due to a lack of knowledge that people say that God is dead, that there is no God, and that we have no relationship with God. These thoughts have been compared to the thoughts of a man haunted by a ghost. Just as a haunted man speaks all nonsense, when we become covered by the illusionary energy of God, we say that God is dead. But this is not a fact. Therefore, we need this chanting process to cleanse our heart. Take to the simple process of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. In that way, in your family life, in your club, in your home, on the road, everywhere, chant Hare Krishna, and this darkness covering your heart, covering your real position, will be removed. Then you will understand your real constitutional position. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Marjanam means cleansing, Darpanam means mirror. The heart is a mirror, it is like a camera. Just as a camera takes all kinds of pictures of days and nights, so also our heart takes pictures and keeps them in an unconscious state. Psychologists know this. The heart takes so many pictures and therefore it becomes covered. We do not know when it has begun, but it is a fact that because there is material contact, our real identity is covered. Therefore, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, one has to cleanse his heart. There are different processes to cleanse the heart: the jnana process, the yoga process, the meditation process, pious activities. Karma also cleanses the heart. If one acts very piously, his heart will gradually be cleansed. But although these processes are recommended for cleansing the heart, in this age they are all difficult. To follow the path of philosophical knowledge, one must become a very learned scholar, one must read so many books, one must go to learned professors and scholars and speculate. One must search out a person who has seen the light. So these are all philosophical processes. Meditation is also a recommended process. One should question, what am I? Just consider, am I this body? No. Am I this finger? No. This is my finger. If you contemplate your leg, you will see, oh, this is my leg. Similarly, you will find everything to be mine. And where is that I? Everything is mine, but where is that I? When one is searching for that I, that is meditation. Real meditation means concentrating all the senses in that way, but that meditation process is very difficult. One must control the senses. The senses are dragging one outward, and one has to bring them inward for introspection. Therefore, there are 8 processes in the yoga system. The first is controlling the senses by regulative principles. Then, sitting postures will help to concentrate the mind. If one sits leaning over, that will not help. If one sits straight up, that will help. Then, controlling the breathing, then meditation, then samadhi. But today, these are very, very difficult processes. No one can immediately perform them. The so called yoga processes are fragmental. Only the sitting postures and a few breathing exercises are practiced. But that cannot bring one to this perfectional stage. The actual yoga process, although a recommended Vedic process, is very difficult in this age. Similarly, one can try to get knowledge by the speculative philosophical process. This is Brahman, this is not Brahman. So, what is Brahman? What is spirit soul? Such empiric philosophical discussion is also recommended, but it is useless in this age. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also Vedic literature says, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, Kalau Nasteva 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 Gatir Anyata. Kalau means in this age, Nyasteva Nasteva Nasteva, three times Nasteva. Eva means certainly, and Nasti means not. Certainly not, certainly not, certainly not. What is that certainly not? One cannot realize oneself by karma. That is the first certainly not. One cannot realize oneself by jnana. That is the second certainly not. One cannot realize oneself by yoga. Certainly not. Certainly not. Kalau. Kalau means in this age. Kalau nasteva 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 gatir anyata. In this age, one certainly cannot achieve success by any of these three methods. Then what is the recommended process? Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Simply chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Kevalam means only. Simply chant Hare Krishna. It is the easiest and most sublime process. This is recommended, practical, and authorized. So take it, accept it. In any condition of life, chant. There is no expenditure, there is no loss. We are not chanting a secret. No, it is open. And by chanting, you will cleanse your heart.
Hmm. So, where in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, only by bhakti you can know me? Hmm? Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by let's put it like this. Let's see. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. There is a particular verse. Hmm. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. 18.55. 18.55. One can understand me as I am only by devotion service. Okay. Only by devotion. Devotion is what? Nine processes of which first which starts with the chanting of the holy name. Okay. And where does Krishna says then, by this empiric process, other processes, you cannot understand me? It is there in Bhagavad Gita, one of the shlokas. Um, um, let's check seventh chapter. Let's check in seventh chapter. Created strength by 3 minutes. Not here. Not able to remember the shloka, but let's spend some 1 minute and let's see if we can get it. Okay. Okay, there's a particular shloka where Krishna says, "Me, no one knows. Me, no one knows." That's it. Me, no one knows. Krishna says like this. I guess it is the ninth chapter. Me, no one knows. 9.26 or 7.26. Let's see. 9.26. No. So then it is 7.26. Yeah. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Okay, so it's very difficult to know Krishna.
Which chapter is this, Prabhuji?
7.26.
7.26. Okay.
No one knows. There is one more verse. Krishna says, "You cannot know me from, tapasya." Maybe in the 18th chapter he says this. You cannot know me from tapasya and all that. We'll see. Later. One is transcendence. Okay. Okay. Somewhere he says, you cannot know me by reading all the Vedas and all this. But at one point he says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only devotees can understand. Even one who is very much well versed in the verses, scriptures and all may not know me. Is it in the 10th? Neither the host nor the sages know my origin. I am the source of them. Let's see. See, the wise who perfectly know this engages in my devotion service. Okay. Those are constantly devoted to me. Indeed, you are distant. So it's not. Okay. 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 So I'm not able to get that verse. But yeah. Bhaktya mam vijanati. Only by devotion can we know Krishna. And devotion, it starts with chanting the holy name. So that's why it's this thing said. And that's why these three things are said. He cannot be known by karma, by jnana, by yoga. All these are under the three modes, okay? They're still under the three modes. Only devotion is above the three mode. Where it is said devotion is above the three mode? In the 14th chapter only. Where three modes are explained, right? In that chapter only it is said. Mamcho vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate saguna samiteta brahma bhuya kalpate. One who engages in devotion service, see the word bhakti is used, no? Bhakti is used. So there is no question also. Translation is also fine. Unfailing in all circumstances, at one transcends the three modes. Okay, once we transcend the three modes, right? Then we can know Krishna. This is one of the verses he says. If you transcend the three modes, then only. Because I am above the three modes. So only by devotion service, which takes us to above the three modes, then we can come to the level of Brahman and we can understand Krishna. So even from that angle, also it is like that. Okay. So you can see, Prabhupada is giving the highest knowledge in a very simple language. If we read what all he's saying, it's coming from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other Vedic scriptures. But he puts it in very simple English language.
Yeah.
Okay, read it.
In this material world, no one wants misery, but it comes unexpectedly. Like a forest fire that starts without anyone striking a match, it comes. No one wants a war, but the war is fought. No one wants famine, but famine comes. No one wants pestilence, but it comes. No one wants fighting, but there is fighting. No one wants misunderstanding, but there it is. Why? This is like a blazing fire in the forest, and it cannot be extinguished by fire engines. This blazing fire of problems cannot be extinguished by our so called advancement of knowledge. No, that is not possible. Just as one cannot extinguish a forest fire by sending a fire engine or by bringing some water, the problems of our life cannot be solved by material processes. There are many examples. Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear Lord, the father and mother are not actually the protectors of the children. The father and mother take care of the children. That is their duty. But they are not the ultimate protectors.
See,
When
this
nature's
one,
law."
this example is also very important. This tells, that we can only put efforts, but the ultimately thing is, decided by the Supreme Lord only, right? So this example also confirms the 18.5, or
55.
yeah, no, the five things affect the.
Oh, five things. Yeah.
Mhm. So this example also gives,
18.14.
yeah, 18.14. So it also confirms this, right? Read.
When nature's law calls the child, the father and mother cannot protect him. Therefore, although generally it is considered a fact that the father and mother are the protectors of the child, actually it is not a fact. If someone is sailing the ocean and he thinks he has a very nice boat, will that protect him? No. Still, he may drown. A nice airplane is flying in the sky, everyone is safe, but all of a sudden it crashes. Nothing material can protect us. Suppose someone is diseased. He may engage a good physician who gives good medicine, but that will not guarantee that he will live. Then what is the ultimate guarantee? Prahlad Maharaj says, "My dear Lord, if you neglect someone, nothing can protect him."
Just wait. See, Prabhupada is giving these all analogy here, but that doesn't tell that we need not go to good physician. Okay, that doesn't tell us that father and mother should not protect. It is their duty. Okay, so this understanding doesn't tell us that we need not stop doing our duty. What it tries to say is,
The ultimate
yeah,
protectors.
ultimate protector is Krishna. So have that understanding. Okay, that is the point of this whole explanation. It is not to give up our duty.
Yeah. This is our practical experience. We can invent so many methods to solve the problems presented by the laws of material nature, but they are not sufficient. They will never solve all the problems, nor will they give actual relief. This is the fact. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Maya, this external energy, is very, very strong. No one can surpass it. It is almost impossible. Then how can one get free from this material nature? Krishna says, simply by surrendering unto me, one can get relief from the onslaught of material nature. That is a fact. So we have to cleanse the heart to learn what is our relationship with God. In the Katha Upanishad, it is stated, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The absolute, supreme absolute personality of Godhead or the absolute truth is eternal. God is eternal and we are also eternal. But the Vedas indicate that He is the supreme living creature. He is not dead. If He is not living, how is this world working? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, under my supervision, things are going on. In the Bible also, it is said God created. That is a fact. Not that at one time there was a chunk and then this happened and then that. No, the Vedas tell us the actual facts, but we have to open our eyes to see Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That is the process of cleansing our hearts. When we cleanse our hearts, then we will be able to understand what Krishna and the Vedas say. We need to be purified. If a man is suffering from jaundice and you give him a piece of sugar candy, he will say that it is very bitter. But is sugar candy bitter? No, it is very sweet. And the medicine for jaundice is that sugar. Modern science prescribes this, and it is prescribed in the Vedic literature also. So, if we take a great quantity of this sugar candy, then we will be relieved from jaundice. And when there is relief, then one says, oh, this is very sweet. So, the modern jaundice of a godless civilization can be cured by this chanting of Hare Krishna. In the beginning, it may appear bitter, but when one advances, then he will see how pleasing it is. As soon as one understands his identity, his relationship with God, then immediately he becomes happy. We are so full of miseries because we have identified ourselves with the material world. Therefore, we are unhappy. Anxieties and fearfulness are due to our misidentifying with the material world. The other day, I was explaining that one who identifies with this bag of bones and skin is like an animal. So, by chanting Hare Krishna, this misunderstanding will be cleansed. Cleansing of the heart means that one will understand that he does not belong to this material world. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit soul. As long as one identifies oneself with England, with India, or with America, this is ignorance. Today, you are an Englishman because you were born in England, but in your next life, you may not take your birth in England. It may be in China or Russia or some other country, or you may not even get this human form of body. Today, you are a nationalist. You are very great follower of your country, but tomorrow, if you stay in your country, you may be a cow being taken to the slaughterhouse. So we have to thoroughly know our identity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual identity of every living creature is that he is the eternal servant of God. If one thinks like that, I am no one else's servant, my business is to serve God, then he is liberated. His heart is immediately cleansed and he is liberated. And after one has reached that, then all one's cares and anxieties in this world are over because one knows I am a servant of God. God will give me protection. Why should I worry about anything? It is just like a child. A child knows that his mother and father will take care of him. He is free. If he should go to touch fire, his mother will take care of him. Oh, my dear child, don't touch. The mother is always looking after him. So why don't you put your trust in God? Actually, you're under the protection of God.
Yeah, just wait. So it's already 8:30. We'll stop here. Any question or comment? Anyone has any question or comment?
No, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
It's clear.
Yeah, very nicely explained and taking us back to all the
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita verses, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
It was a very good recap, Prabhu. Prabhu, the one with the page that you were showing, I joined late today. Where you were showing now, Krishna is present in everyone, like of all the demigods, he's Indra, Adiyas, Vishnu, that particular. Yes, yes. Prabhuji, can you share this one with us?
Okay, sure.
Nice summary document you have, Prabhuji. This will help us.
Sir,
Yeah,
Go back
one
quickly.
devotee has
Prabhu is
made.
very nicely, he keeps all
Very
the.
nicely organized. Have you
Yeah.
written these by
No,
yourself,
no,
Prabhuji?
no. One devotee has written it. I refer it.
Okay.
So they are
Will be
Prabhu,
very
it has
helpful,
a
Prabhuji.
summary of all the
yeah, summary
chapters.
of
Uh,
each chapter,
chapter.
each shloka, everything.
Very
Very
good.
helpful, Prabhuji, if you
Yeah,
can share it.
sure, sure.
It will be
I'll
really
share this
helpful.
document also.
That will be
Thank you.
really, really nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, so probably this could be our last